Okay, so in today's video I have got week 11 of my 365 days of art challenge, so if you want to see that then keep on watching. Okay, so the first one that I started with this week was another colouring one with the colour combinations. So I think this one was literally just 3 colours that I thought would look good together. There are quite a lot of these in this book, which is actually making it quite difficult to come up with new colour combinations, especially since I usually use the same watercolour palette every time. So I might have to start using coloured pencils to do these instead, but I kind of don't really want to have to do that because I really like the way that the watercolour looks with these. But yeah, I'm really struggling to sort of come up with different colour combinations that I haven't done before, just like I said, based on the amount of these that are actually in this book. I feel like there definitely could have been a bit more variety. However, they are a really quick and easy one to kind of do, so if like I've said in the past, if you just sort of sit down for 5-10 minutes a day to do one of these, then they are sort of the perfect ones, because you don't really have to think about it too much. You can kind of just get it done within sort of 5-10 minutes and then walk away from it. But yeah, there are definitely quite a few of these in this book. The next one I did was another sort of colouring one. This one is just different coloured fish. So I chose to do this with watercolour and then with some fine liners as well to add a little bit of detail. So yeah, as you can see with the first fish, I did sort of different shades of blue with the watercolour. To be honest, I kind of rushed the first one. I kind of rushed them all. They still took me, I think this whole page took me about 20 minutes to do. But I kind of just did this to kind of see how easy it would be to kind of spend less time on things like this, because I do another colouring one right at the end, and I think in total that took me, because of how many different parts of of the picture that there is, I think it ended up taking me an hour and a half, 2 hours to actually finish, which is quite a long time. However, obviously those colouring ones you can sort of leave and come back to if you want to. You don't have to do it all in one go, but yeah, with this one I just kind of wanted to see whether it was actually possible to kind of do it a bit quicker, and not actually spend as much time on it. So as you can see, the second one I did red and purple with black detailing, and then this third one I did yellow and green. So I just put a base down of yellow and then went over with green to add some different coloured scales in, mainly because this fish actually reminded me of the rainbow fish story, obviously with his different rainbow scales and stuff. So yeah, I basically did something a little bit inspired by that, obviously completely different colours and whatever, but yeah, that was kind of my inspiration for that one. And then the last one I just did sort of red and blue, with again the black details. So yeah, they were the 4 fish that I did, and like I said, obviously it took me about 20 minutes, so this is not going to be the best thing you've ever seen in your life, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to experiment and see how possible it actually was, to kind of do as a bit quicker rather than spending loads and loads of time on it. But the next one I did was creating patterns with a white pencil, so sort of negative space instead. So the first one I did was sort of a cow print, and then I did a little zebra or zigzag in the second one, and then the third one I did was sort of swirls, and then yeah, you can see the other two just sort of lines, and yeah, that's kind of where I went with that one. This next one was basically, it said draw something that brought you joy today or something. So today was, well, when I was filming this anyway, was actually my dad's birthday, so I just wrote on, drew some presents and then just wrote on there giving him his gifts and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's what I did for that one. And then the next one I did, I've actually been looking at doing for a little while, but I chose the fine liner pens that I used in my last video, and basically it was just sort of colouring these oranges with different shading techniques. First one obviously being cross hatching, second one stippling, then actual blending, and then obviously the watercolour at the end. So that was another really quick one that I did this week. This one basically was like putting down colour in pastels and then using watercolour to basically see the reaction that it made. But I think basically what I did was obviously if you use like oil pastels, then in theory the water is supposed to kind of like repel the oil, because obviously like oil and water don't mix. But I'm wondering if the pastels that I used actually weren't oil based, which is super annoying because yeah, it kind of just made a bit of a mess as you could see. So definitely not my favourite that I've ever done in this book. In fact, it's probably one of my least favourites. But yeah, I feel like I kind of need to experiment with that again, kind of like separate from the book, with some pastels that I know are definitely oil based, and kind of see what happens. I mean, I know what happens, but I kind of want to actually put them together and sort of see what I can create with that sort of medium, because obviously it should create different textures and patterns and stuff, whereas mine just kind of made a bit of a mess. But yeah, anyway, the last one I did was this colouring one. So this was the one that I said kind of took me ages. I think in total it took me, like I said, an hour and a half, 2 hours. As you can see, there is a lot of detail in it, and this one I decided to just use the zebra fine liners that I have been using for a few different ones. So I just used those, and then I just used like a black fine liner to do some details like I'm doing in this one currently. So yeah, this one kind of took me a little while, and the camera angles do sort of change every now and again because I didn't actually film this all in one go. I kind of kept leaving it and coming back to it, but in the end I just really wanted to get it done, because it was taking ages and I just wanted to get it finished. But yeah, like I said, obviously this one took quite a while, and it's not exactly that detailed. I've not exactly put loads of different like patterns or textures or anything like that in. It's just basically because there's so many different details and so many different parts to this one that it just took absolutely ages. And as you can see here as well, I kind of thought, oh, if I put some block colour down with watercolour, then maybe that will make it go a little bit quicker, won't take me as long. Obviously it still took me absolutely ages to finish, but yeah, the watercolour did help a little bit, kind of speed up the process, but still took me absolutely ages to finish. The other thing with having these like really long ones to do as well is, obviously you've probably noticed if you like watch these videos and are subscribed and like come back each week, or not each week as the case may be, yeah, I really suck at getting these uploaded every single week. Obviously, well, not obviously, but I work full-time, so doing these really long ones isn't always the most practical when I work full-time, which is why I'm kind of struggling, as now I'm getting sort of, I mean, I'm nowhere near the end. I've still got loads and loads left to do. I'm not even halfway through yet. Like I say, I'm only on like week 11, I think it is, and I've still got loads left to do. But it's becoming really difficult to actually get 7 of these done every week and obviously edited and uploaded. So yeah, I'm kind of struggling with that a little bit. Obviously with working full time, I recently started a new job. I've been moving my bedroom around, like I said in the last couple of videos, so that's really sort of like hindered progress. Like I've not even filmed anything in my new room currently. Sat in here editing, but I've not like actually filmed anything in here yet. I'm still kind of trying to figure out like the setup, how I'm gonna kind of make it work. So I may actually still go back into this like old room for a little while, just until I kind of figure out how things are going to work in the new one. But yeah, like I say, it's become increasingly difficult to actually film these, edit them and upload them once a week. My other videos, I've still got loads like filmed separately, so I can kind of just edit them and upload them whenever, and I'm actually a couple weeks ahead with those, sort of like editing and uploading them, so I have them scheduled for like the next couple of weeks. But these ones I kind of tend to do on like a week-to-week basis, which is obviously why, obviously if I've got like loads going on that week, it's hard to sort of actually get them done, which is really annoying because, like I said, I kind of wanted to have this was the whole reason of me starting it at like the first week of the year, was so that I could have a whole year doing it and then it be finished by the end of the year. Obviously we're in August at the minute and I'm only on week 11, so quite obviously that's not going to happen unless I literally put everything into them and upload like 2 a week. But even then I still don't think it's going to happen. Like I think I'd have to be doing like 2 or 3 a week to actually make that possible, and I just don't think it is. So obviously this will run into next year as well, so hopefully I manage to actually get it done next year. If not, this like 365 days of art challenge is going to span like 3 years, and I really hope that doesn't happen. But at the moment, with the amount of progress I've made on it, it's looking likely, considering we're more than halfway through the year and I've only done 11. So even if I made it up to like 20 at the end of this year, then that's only like 40 weeks by the end of next year if I carried on at the same pace. And there's what, like 52 weeks in a year, so that's not looking good. But I'm really going to try and get these out a little bit more regularly like I used to. Obviously I used to do once a week. I don't know whether they're going to be like once a week all the time, maybe like once every 2 weeks, but hopefully I can sort of get back on top of it and actually get some more out. It's just obviously now that I've got loads and loads of like challenges left that take a little bit longer, because I've kind of used up all the ones that don't take too long, other than like all the calligraphy ones. But then that would just be really boring if I had a full week of like calligraphy ones and the video would only be like 5 minutes long, so that's not really an option. I kind of have to put like a couple like longer ones in there, because if not the video is like 5 minutes long and it's not worth watching. So yeah, I definitely need to just sort of like find a happy balance, but yeah, it could mean that these sort of come out every 2 weeks instead of every week, which is kind of annoying because I want to have like 2 videos go up a week, but it might just be that instead of having like 1 normal video and 1 of these a week, it might just be like 2 normal ones. I don't know, I haven't really figured out like the logistics of it yet. But I also still have loads of Lego left to build. I have loads of like normal art videos. I have a few like unboxing videos that I filmed. I have a few like I think, to be honest, I do actually have a few Lego ones left to edit. I know I definitely have Diagon Alley to do, but that's like I'm struggling to stay on top of filming and editing these, and I've got like 20 hours of footage of Diagon Alley, so to be editing and uploading that's just probably not going to happen at the minute, not until I kind of work my way through some other videos. But to be honest, I might leave Diagon Alley for a little while, kind of try and gain a few more subscribers maybe, and then upload it. And I know I've also spoken about this previously, but that one will probably be split up into separate videos, so it's not like as bad editing it, I suppose, because obviously I can split it up a lot more. But yeah, obviously I have still got a lot of footage for that to edit and get up. But yeah, I've definitely got a lot of content like ready to go. It's just finding the time to edit it and obviously do all these voiceovers, because I normally edit like when I'm in bed at night, and I don't really want to be doing like voiceovers at like 1 in the morning when I've got work at 9. So yeah, that's just again another thing of like finding a balance, but I'm sure I will get there. But yeah, obviously these videos have become very like few and far between, which is annoying because originally I wanted, like I said, to be uploading every twice a week, whereas now it's become like every 2 weeks. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get on top of it again, and like I said, I have got normal videos like scheduled. I think I'm 2 weeks ahead. I might be lying when I say that, but I think I'm a couple weeks ahead. But anyway, they don't take like crazy long to upload to edit, but it's just like the voiceovers and stuff. Sometimes I just kind of have to sit down and do a bunch all in one go, because I don't know what it is, I just lose motivation to actually just like sit down and speak for 15 minutes. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get back on top of it. and actually sort it out, because I do enjoy doing this book and I've not actually done it for ages. Like, this is like obviously filmed and I'm now editing it, but I think I filmed this like 2 weeks ago. I filmed it at the point of me editing this, it's the 24th of October. No, it isn't. It's the 24th of August, and I filmed this on like the 2nd, 3rd and 4th of August. So almost 3 weeks ago I actually picked up this book and did anything with it. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling because I am now marking off everything that I did this week in the front of the book, like I do at the end of every week. So yeah, so that was week 11 of my 365 days of art challenge. If you want to see next week's, that will be uploaded same time next week. So make sure to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss it. But other than that, I will see you next time. Bye.